Chapter 1. The Switch. Activate your relentless mode. There are two versions of you. One version craves comfort, avoids discomfort, and gives in to distractions. The other version thrives on discipline, takes action without hesitation, and pushes through pain. Most people allow their weak version to take control. They negotiate with laziness, postpone hard tasks, and wait for motivation that never comes. And that's why they remain stuck, making excuses instead of making progress. But the people who win, the people who dominate in life, they flip the switch. They activate their relentless mode and force themselves to act, no matter how they feel. This is the first and most important mindset shift you must make. You don't wait until you feel ready, you act now. 1.1 The myth of motivation, and why you don't need it. Most people believe they need motivation to work hard. They think successful people wake up every day feeling excited and energized to chase their goals. But that's a lie. The truth. The best don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. Motivation is like the weather, unpredictable and unreliable. Some days, you'll wake up feeling energized. Other days, you'll feel tired, lazy, or unmotivated. If you only work when you feel like it, you'll never be consistent, and without consistency, you'll never succeed. That's why you must learn to act regardless of how you feel. Think about elite athletes, Navy SEALs, or world-class entrepreneurs. Do you think they always feel like training, working, or pushing through exhaustion? No. But they do it anyway. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who stay average is simple. Average people wait for motivation. High achievers create momentum through action. Here's the rule: action comes first. Motivation follows. The moment you start, your brain shifts into work mode. The hardest part is the first 5 minutes. Once you push through that, your mind will adjust. Want proof? Try this. The next time you don't feel like working out, put on your shoes and start moving. The next time you don't feel like working, open your laptop and type one sentence. The next time you don't feel like waking up early, get out of bed without thinking. You'll realize something. Once you begin, motivation kicks in. The more you push yourself to take action, the easier it becomes. You stop needing motivation because your brain is trained to execute, on command. 1.2 The comfort-seeking mind. How your brain traps you. Your mind is wired to keep you comfortable. It will always try to avoid pain, discomfort, and struggle because it sees those things as threats. This is why. You hit snooze instead of waking up early. You procrastinate instead of working on your goals. You choose instant pleasure, scrolling, gaming, TV, instead of long-term success. Your brain is not designed for achievement, it's designed for survival. It wants to conserve energy, avoid stress, and take the easiest path. But here's the problem. Success requires discomfort. Every great achievement, building a strong body, creating a successful business, mastering a skill, requires hard work, discipline, and sacrifice. And that's exactly why most people fail. They listen to their weak mind. Their mind says, let's take a break. They obey. Their mind says, we can start later. They delay. Their mind says, we don't feel like it. They stop. This is why you must override your brain's resistance. You must recognize these thoughts as lies designed to keep you weak. 1.3 The moment you hesitate, you lose. Hesitation is the enemy of action. The longer you think about doing something, the less likely you are to do it. Why? Because your brain starts looking for excuses. Example: you decide to go to the gym. Instead of getting up immediately, you sit and think about it. Your brain starts whispering, maybe I'll go later. I'm tired. I need more sleep. One day off won't hurt. You convince yourself to skip. Sound familiar? The best way to eliminate this problem is to act before your brain has time to argue. The 3-second rule. The moment you decide to do something, count down from 3, 2, 1. Move immediately. No thinking, no debating. Once you start, don't stop. This simple trick bypasses hesitation and forces you into action. 1.4 The power of an alter ego, how to become unstoppable. Some of the most disciplined people in the world use alter egos to tap into their strongest self. Kobe Bryant had Black Mamba, his fearless, ultra-focused warrior self. Beyoncé had Sasha Fierce, her confident, unstoppable stage persona. Mike Tyson became Iron Mike, a version of himself that felt invincible. This isn't about pretending to be someone else, it's about becoming the highest version of yourself. How to create your alter ego. Name it. Choose a name that represents your strongest, most disciplined self. Define it. What traits does this version of you have? Focused, disciplined, fearless, unstoppable. Step into it. The moment you need to work, activate your alter ego. Example. If your alter ego is the executioner, every time you need to work, tell yourself, the executioner doesn't hesitate. The executioner attacks the task immediately. If your alter ego is the machine, remind yourself, the machine doesn't get tired. The machine keeps going, no matter what. When you operate from your alter ego, you shut off emotions, doubts, and distractions. You become a force of nature. 1.5 Your new identity. The execution mindset. Everything you do is a reflection of your identity. If you see yourself as lazy, you'll act lazy. If you see yourself as disciplined, you'll act disciplined. If you see yourself as unstoppable, you'll refuse to quit. Your goal is to rewrite your identity so that discipline becomes effortless. Your new rules. I don't negotiate with myself. I don't wait for motivation. I take action, instantly. When you embrace this mindset, everything changes. You no longer wait. You no longer hesitate. You no longer make excuses. You execute every single time. Conclusion. Flip the switch now. Most people never reach their full potential because they never flip the switch. They stay in comfort mode, waiting for motivation to save them. But motivation will not save you. Only relentless action will. From this moment forward, stop waiting to feel ready. Act immediately, before your brain makes excuses. Step into your strongest self and execute. This is how you become unstoppable. No hesitation. No negotiation. Just action. Chapter 2. Time is your enemy. Work like you're running out of it. Most people live as if they have unlimited time. They delay their goals, thinking they can start next week. They waste hours scrolling, assuming they can make up for it tomorrow. They move slowly, acting as if they have years to figure things out. But the truth is, time is the one thing you can never get back. Every second that passes is gone forever. Every moment of inaction is a moment stolen from your future. This is why you need to work with urgency, as if your time is running out. Because it is. 2.1 The illusion of later. Why you must move now. The biggest lie people tell themselves is that they have plenty of time. They believe success is something they'll get to eventually. They put off their goals, thinking they can start when they feel ready. But later is an illusion. You don't have unlimited time. You don't have infinite chances. You don't have someday. You only have right now. Think about this. Imagine you're given $1 million with one condition. You have to spend it all in 24 hours, or it disappears forever. What would you do? You'd use every single dollar before time ran out. Now, replace money with time. Every second you waste is time you will never get back. Every moment you delay is a moment lost forever. If you truly understood how limited your time is, you'd stop waiting and start executing. 2.2 The clock is ticking rule. From now on, I want you to visualize a countdown timer on your life. The clock is ticking on your fitness. If you don't start today, you'll wake up weaker tomorrow. The clock is ticking on your business. If you don't build it now, someone else will. The clock is ticking on your skills. Every day you procrastinate, you fall behind those who are improving. This isn't about fear, it's about urgency. The people who achieve success aren't necessarily the smartest, most talented, or luckiest. They are the ones who move the fastest. They don't wait. They don't hesitate. They don't waste time. They act immediately. 2.3 The difference between the fast and the slow. There are two types of people in the world. 1. The slow thinkers, the procrastinators. Overthink everything. Wait for the perfect moment. Spend hours planning but never executing. Delay their dreams because they believe they have time. 2. The fast movers, the achievers. Take action immediately. Work with urgency, knowing time is running out. Make decisions quickly and adjust as they go. Treat every day as an opportunity to get ahead. Guess which group succeeds? The fast movers. They don't waste months planning. They start now and learn along the way. They don't spend years waiting. They force themselves to execute. They don't tell themselves, tomorrow. They tell themselves, right now. If you want to change your life, you need to stop thinking like a slow mover and start thinking like a fast mover. 2.4 How to develop an urgent mindset. 1. Set impossible deadlines. Most people set deadlines that are too comfortable. They give themselves weeks or months to accomplish things they could finish in days. The problem: comfort kills urgency. Instead, give yourself ridiculous deadlines. Instead of, I'll start my project next month, say, I'll finish the first draft in 3 days. Instead of, I'll get in shape by next year, say, I'll transform my body in 90 days. Instead of, I'll launch my business in 6 months, say, I'll make my first sale this week. By shrinking your deadlines, you force yourself to move fast. 2. Work against a countdown timer. One of the biggest reasons people waste time is because they feel like they have all day to do something. The fix? Use a countdown timer. Set a 30-minute timer and race against it. Give yourself only 5 minutes to make a decision. Set a deadline for every task, so you feel the pressure to move quickly. When you work against a ticking clock, you move with speed and focus. 3. Make later a forbidden word. From this moment forward, you are no longer allowed to say later. I'll do it later, no. Do it now. I'll start next week, no. Start today. I'll wait for the right time, no. There is no right time. Move now. Make this a rule in your life. If something takes less than 5 minutes, do it immediately. The faster you act, the more momentum you build. 2.5 The future you will either thank you or hate you. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. One version of you is successful, disciplined, and powerful because you took action today. The other version of you is frustrated, filled with regret, and stuck in the same place because you kept delaying. Your future self is being created right now. Every time you take action, your future self thanks you. Every time you procrastinate, your future self hates you. Ask yourself, what will my future self say about today's decisions? Am I moving fast enough to create the life I want? Or am I wasting time, assuming I have later? 2.6 The 24-hour test. How to force yourself to move immediately. Here's a challenge for you. Imagine you only had 24 hours to make massive progress on your biggest goal. What would you do right now? What distractions would you eliminate? How would you move differently knowing you had no time to waste? Now, take that level of urgency and apply it to every day. Live like you are running out of time, because you are. 2.7 The harsh reality. You are either moving forward or falling behind. In life, there is no pause button. Every moment you hesitate, someone else is working harder, moving faster, and getting ahead. While you scroll social media, someone else is building a business. While you sleep in, someone else is training their body. While you wait for the right time, someone else is making moves. And if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. The question is, will you be the one who hesitates or the one who dominates? Conclusion: the clock is ticking. Move now. Stop waiting for the perfect time. There isn't one. Stop assuming you have later. You don't. Stop living like you have unlimited time, because you don't. From this moment forward, move fast, work with urgency, and execute relentlessly. Because one thing is certain: time will not wait for you. Chapter 3: burn the bridges, eliminate the escape route. Most people fail because they give themselves a way out. They say they want to succeed, but deep down, they know they have a backup plan. They keep a safety net, a comfortable escape route that allows them to retreat when things get hard. And that's exactly why they don't push themselves to the limit. If failure is an option, your mind will take it. To force yourself to work hard, you need to eliminate every escape route. Remove every excuse, every fallback plan, every reason to quit. You must commit so fully to your goal that there is no turning back. This is how you transform your mindset from "I'll try" to "I will succeed, no matter what." The trap of comfort. The biggest enemy of success isn't failure, it's comfort. Comfort is deceptive. It feels safe, familiar, and easy. But comfort is also a cage that keeps people trapped in mediocrity. It lulls them into a false sense of security, convincing them that they don't need to push themselves harder. People say they want more success, more discipline, more achievement, but they're not willing to leave their comfort zone. They keep one foot in their old life while pretending to chase a new one. This is why most never break through. They allow comfort to be an option. If there's always a way to quit, your mind will consider it. If you truly want to force yourself to work hard, you must burn every bridge that leads back to your old, weaker self. The point of no return. Throughout history, some of the greatest victories came from situations where people had no choice but to move forward. One of the most famous examples comes from a battle in which a commander ordered his own ships to be burned after reaching enemy territory. With no way to retreat, his soldiers had only one option: fight or die. They fought with unimaginable intensity and won. This wasn't just about strategy, it was about mindset. When retreat isn't an option, your only choice is to succeed. The same principle applies to life. If you give yourself the possibility of quitting, you'll quit the moment things get tough. But if you eliminate all exits, you'll fight with a level of intensity you never knew you had. Your commitment must be absolute. There can be no plan B, no backup strategy, no easy way out. Success must become your only possible outcome. How to eliminate your escape routes. One of the most effective ways to force yourself to work hard is to destroy every alternative that allows you to quit. People fail because they keep their old habits, their old comforts, and their old excuses. If you want to change, you need to remove everything that lets you go backward. Destroy the safety nets. Many people don't fully commit to their goals because they have a backup plan in case they fail. This gives them an easy way out when things get hard. If you want to get in shape, stop keeping junk food in the house. If you want to succeed in business, stop looking for a backup job just in case. If you want to develop discipline, stop surrounding yourself with lazy, unmotivated people. Make failure so painful and unacceptable that success is your only option. Publicly commit to your goals. Most people keep their goals private because it gives them the freedom to quit without consequences. When no one knows about their plans, there's no pressure to follow through. This is a mistake. When you announce your goal to the world, you create external pressure to succeed. Now, if you quit, you don't just disappoint yourself, you disappoint everyone who believed in you. This fear of looking weak or inconsistent can be an incredibly powerful motivator. Tell people what you're going to accomplish. Put your reputation on the line. Once you make a commitment publicly, you'll force yourself to work hard because quitting would be humiliating. Remove the option of taking it easy. People fail because they give themselves too much flexibility. They tell themselves, "I'll go to the gym if I feel like it. I'll work hard when I have more time. I'll start tomorrow." That kind of thinking destroys discipline. From now on, stop treating your goals as optional. Make them non-negotiable. Instead of saying, "I'll work out if I have time," say, "I work out every day at 6 a.m., no exceptions." Instead of saying, "I'll work on my goals when I'm motivated," say, "I do deep work for 2 hours daily, no matter what." You don't give yourself an option to quit because there is no option. The pain of quitting must be greater than the pain of discipline. One of the best ways to force yourself to work hard is to make quitting so painful that it becomes unthinkable. People quit because quitting has no real consequence. They say they'll eat clean, then break their diet, and nothing happens. They say they'll wake up early, then hit snooze, and no one calls them out. The fix? Make failure hurt. Put money on the line. Bet a friend $500 that you'll stick to your plan. If you fail, you lose the money. Make quitting public. Tell your friends that if you don't follow through, they get to post something embarrassing about you. Attach a major consequence to failure. If you don't hit your goal, donate money to a cause you hate. The stronger the pain of failure, the harder you'll fight to avoid it. Burning the old version of you. Your past self, the lazy, distracted, undisciplined version of you, has to die. If you're still allowing that version of yourself to exist, you'll never become the person you're meant to be. You have to destroy the habits, routines, and comforts that belong to the old you. The old you hits snooze. The new you wakes up without hesitation. The old you wasted hours on distractions. The new you eliminates anything that slows you down. The old you waited for motivation. The new you works relentlessly, no matter what. The old you cannot be part of your future. Burn it. The moment you remove the escape route, everything changes. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff with a bridge behind you. You look forward at your goal, but it seems difficult, maybe even impossible. You turn around and see the bridge, the path back to safety. And then, you set that bridge on fire. Now, the only way is forward. There is no way back. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop making excuses. You stop hesitating. Your mind shifts from, "Can I do this?" to, "I must do this." And once you reach that level of commitment, there is nothing that can stop you. Burn the bridges. Cut off the escape routes. Force yourself to work harder than ever before. Because when success becomes your only option, you will find a way to win. Chapter 4. The no matter what principle. Remove emotions from the equation. Most people only work hard when they feel like it. They wake up, check how they feel, and then decide whether to take action. If they're motivated, they work. If they're tired, they skip. If they're uninspired, they procrastinate. This is why they fail. They let emotions control their actions. They treat discipline as something they do when it's convenient, instead of something they do no matter what. The most successful people, they operate by a different rule. They don't care about feelings, moods, or motivation. They execute their plan no matter what. From now on, this is your new rule. If you're tired, you work anyway. If you're unmotivated, you push through it. If you don't feel like it, you do it regardless. This is what separates the weak from the unstoppable. The trap of feelings-based action. Most people assume that successful people feel motivated all the time. That's a myth. Even the most disciplined individuals wake up some days feeling exhausted, uninspired, and tempted to take it easy. The difference? They don't let those feelings decide their actions. They follow their routine, their system, their discipline, regardless of how they feel. The moment you realize that your emotions don't matter, you unlock a new level of discipline. You don't check in with your feelings before working out. You don't ask yourself if you're in the mood to be productive. You don't give yourself a chance to hesitate. You act first. And the best part? Once you start moving, your feelings often catch up. You may not feel like exercising, but once you start, your energy rises. You may not feel like working, but once you begin, focus kicks in. You may not feel like pushing forward, but once you commit, momentum takes over. The mistake most people make is waiting to feel right before they act. But the truth is, action creates the right feeling, not the other way around. How to break free from emotional control. The first step to true discipline is removing emotions from your decision-making process. You don't let your feelings determine whether or not you execute your plan. You train yourself to act automatically, without hesitation, without negotiation. Here's how you do it. Create non-negotiable rules. People who rely on emotions ask themselves, "Do I feel like working today?" People who operate with discipline say, "I work every day, no matter what." The difference? One makes decisions based on feelings, the other makes decisions based on identity. You need to set rules for yourself that are not up for debate. Instead of saying, "I'll try to wake up early," say, "I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, no excuses." Instead of saying, "I'll try to exercise regularly," say, "I train 5 days a week, no matter how I feel." Instead of saying, "I'll work on my business when I'm motivated," say, "I dedicate 2 hours to deep work every night, no exceptions." When you make your actions non-negotiable, your emotions lose their power over you. Act before your mind has time to resist. The longer you think about doing something, the more your brain starts looking for ways to avoid it. The moment your alarm rings, get up immediately, don't think. The second you sit down to work, start typing, don't overanalyze. The instant you enter the gym, begin your warm-up, don't hesitate. Every second you spend hesitating weakens your discipline. The solution: move before your brain has time to argue. Make this a rule: I act before I think. Separate feelings from execution. The best performers in the world don't feel like pushing themselves every day. They just do it anyway. A soldier doesn't ask if they feel like following orders. They execute. A surgeon doesn't ask if they feel like performing the operation. They do it. An Olympic athlete doesn't train only on days they feel inspired. They train daily, because that's the standard. You need to operate the same way. There's a simple rule: discipline feelings. If you live by this rule, your consistency will be unshakable. Turning discipline into your default mode. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The key to making this easy: repetition. Every time you push through resistance, you train your mind to be stronger. Every time you take action despite feeling lazy, you reinforce discipline. Every time you execute your plan without hesitation, you become more unstoppable. The goal is to make hard work automatic. Here's how you do it. Develop a set routine that eliminates decision-making. Most people struggle with discipline because they leave too many choices open. They wake up and ask, "Should I work out today? Should I start my project now or later? Should I push myself or take it easy?" This is mental exhaustion. The more decisions you have to make, the weaker your willpower gets. The fix: remove decisions altogether. Wake up at the same time every day. Follow the same pre-work routine every morning. Start deep work at the same hour daily. When your schedule is locked in, you don't waste energy deciding. You just execute. Use the "no matter what" test. The ultimate way to build discipline is to prove to yourself that you can work under any condition. If you're tired, work anyway. If you're stressed, work anyway. If you're busy, find a way to fit it in. By doing this, you teach yourself that discipline isn't dependent on circumstances. Here's how to test yourself. Work out on the days you feel exhausted. Focus deeply when you're surrounded by distractions. Stick to your plan even when everything goes wrong. Once you prove to yourself that you can execute under any condition, you'll develop an unstoppable mindset. Why most people never master this? Most people fail at discipline because they keep giving themselves a way out. They make rules but allow themselves to break them. They start strong but stop when things get hard. They listen to their feelings instead of their goals. But those who win, they operate by one simple law: I do what I said I would do, no matter what. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't negotiate with themselves. They don't give themselves an easy way out. They execute. The final rule: commit now, execute always. If you want to force yourself to work hard, you need to decide right now that your feelings no longer matter. Your excuses don't matter. Your mood doesn't matter. Your level of motivation doesn't matter. What matters? Discipline. From this moment forward, your new rule is, I work, no matter what. And once you master this, there will be nothing in the world that can stop you. Chapter 5. The Discipline Bank Account. Pay yourself in future success. Every action you take is either a deposit or a withdrawal from your discipline bank account. When you push yourself to work, even when you don't feel like it, that's a deposit. When you skip your commitments and make excuses, that's a withdrawal. When you stay consistent, you build wealth in discipline. When you slack off, you drain your mental bank account. Most people struggle because they keep making withdrawals without deposits. They skip workouts, procrastinate on important tasks, and waste time on distractions. Then wonder why they lack confidence, drive, and success. But the most disciplined individuals, they treat discipline like an investment. They make small deposits daily, knowing it compounds over time. They push through resistance, even when they don't feel like it. They build so much discipline that quitting isn't even an option. This chapter will teach you how to invest in your future self and make discipline automatic. How the discipline bank works. Imagine you have a real bank account, but instead of money, it holds mental toughness, consistency, and work ethic. Every disciplined action adds to your balance. Every time you procrastinate, make excuses, or quit, you withdraw from it. At first, it feels like small decisions don't matter. But they do. Skipping one workout might not seem like a big deal, but it's a withdrawal. Procrastinating on one project might seem harmless, but it's a withdrawal. Sleeping in instead of getting up early? Another withdrawal. The problem is that most people keep spending without depositing. Then, when they need discipline, when life gets hard, when they need to push through resistance, they realize their account is empty. You can't withdraw discipline you never deposited. The strongest people in the world don't just wake up with unbreakable willpower. They've built it through years of consistent deposits. And the best part? The more you deposit, the easier discipline becomes. Once your discipline bank is full, you don't have to force yourself to work hard. You do it naturally. How to make daily deposits in your discipline bank. Building discipline isn't about massive actions. It's about small, consistent deposits over time. Here's how you do it. Do one hard thing every day. You don't need to be extreme. You just need to prove to yourself, daily, that you can push through resistance. If you don't feel like working out, do a quick 15-minute session anyway. If you feel tired, do one more hour of deep work before stopping. If you feel lazy, take an ice-cold shower to wake yourself up. Each time you do something uncomfortable, you reinforce the habit of discipline. If you make this a rule, one hard thing every day, your mental bank will never run empty. Never miss twice. One of the biggest reasons people fail is because they let one mistake turn into a habit. They miss one workout, so they skip the whole week. They eat one bad meal, so they binge for days. They procrastinate one day, so they delay their goals for months. The fix? Never miss twice. If you skip a workout, the next day, you must show up, no matter what. If you break your diet, the next meal must be clean and disciplined. If you procrastinate today, tomorrow must be 100% focused. Success isn't about being perfect. It's about getting back on track immediately. Make work easier than quitting. Most people quit because quitting is too easy. The way to fix this? Make failure harder than success. If you want to stop skipping workouts, pay a trainer in advance. Missing means losing money. If you want to stay accountable, tell friends your goal. Failing means public embarrassment. If you want to work more, block distractions and remove options to procrastinate. When quitting becomes painful, your brain will automatically push forward instead. Track your streaks and progress. Your brain loves rewards. The more you see progress, the more motivated you become. Use a habit tracker and check off every time you work hard. Keep a success journal, writing what you accomplish daily. Set personal records. How many disciplined days can you string together? When you see progress adding up, quitting stops feeling like an option. What happens when you make enough deposits? Once you build discipline, everything in life becomes easier. Work becomes automatic. You don't need motivation anymore. Excuses disappear. You train yourself to act, no matter what. You feel unstoppable, because you've proved to yourself again and again that you won't quit. People think discipline is restrictive, but in reality, it's the key to true freedom. The more discipline you have, the more control you gain over your life. The less discipline you have, the more you are controlled by impulses and distractions. The choice is simple. Do you want to control your mind, or do you want your mind to control you? the problem with withdrawals, and how to avoid them. Every time you skip a commitment, you're training your brain to accept failure. One excuse leads to another. I'm too tired today. I'll try again next week. I'll do it later. I'll do it next year. One day off won't hurt. Why even bother? The first withdrawal is small, but if you keep making them, your discipline drains completely. And once that happens, everything starts to feel impossible. If you find yourself in a cycle of withdrawals, immediately shift back to deposits. Do one disciplined action, even if it's small. Get one streak going, even if it's just for a day. Build back momentum, fast, before quitting becomes a habit. The sooner you stop making withdrawals, the faster you rebuild your discipline wealth. Invest now, reap the rewards later. Discipline is compounded effort. Every deposit you make today pays off in the future. Every early morning workout builds a stronger body. Every deep work session builds a sharper mind. Every rejection you push through builds a tougher mentality. At first, it feels like small actions don't matter. But over months and years, those small actions turn into massive results. The body you want. It's built through years of consistent training. The business you dream of? It's built through daily, disciplined effort. The confidence you crave? It's built through countless battles with resistance, where you refuse to quit. Your future self is depending on you to make deposits today. The final rule: always pay yourself first. From now on, every single day, you will ask yourself, did I make a deposit today? If the answer is yes, you're getting stronger. If the answer is no, you're falling behind. You don't wait for motivation. You don't rely on feelings. You don't make excuses. You simply deposit discipline every single day, until your account is so full that nothing in the world can stop you. Chapter 6. Train yourself to love the pain. Make hard work addictive. Most people avoid pain. They see struggle as something to escape, something negative, something to minimize. They want results without discomfort, progress without effort, and success without sacrifice. And that's exactly why they fail. The people who achieve greatness don't just tolerate pain, they train themselves to love it. They don't run from discomfort, they seek it out. Because they understand a simple truth: pain is progress. If you want to force yourself to work hard, you must reprogram your mind to see pain not as suffering, but as the price of transformation. This chapter will teach you how to flip the mental switch, so instead of dreading hard work, you crave it. The truth about pain and growth. Nothing worth having comes easy. You don't build a strong body by lifting light weights. You build it by pushing through the burn, lifting heavier, and embracing the struggle. You don't develop mental toughness by avoiding stress. You develop it by facing challenges head-on, dealing with pressure, and refusing to break. You don't succeed in business by playing it safe. You succeed by taking risks, handling rejection, and learning from failure. The reality is, growth and pain are inseparable. Every breakthrough, physically, mentally, financially, comes on the other side of discomfort. Most people never reach their potential because they spend their whole lives avoiding the very thing that would make them stronger. If you want to reach the next level, you must flip the script. Instead of avoiding pain, you must learn to lean into it. How to rewire your brain to crave pain. The human brain is wired for comfort. It seeks pleasure and avoids anything that feels difficult. But this wiring is not permanent. It can be changed. You can train yourself to love pain the same way you train a muscle. Here's how. 1. Change the way you talk to yourself. Most people mentally resist pain, which makes it feel worse. When they feel tired, they say, "This is too much." When things get hard, they say, "I can't do this." When they struggle, they say, "I just want to stop." This type of self-talk makes pain unbearable. But the strongest people flip the narrative. When they feel tired, they say, "Good, this is where I get stronger." When things get hard, they say, "This is exactly what I need." When they struggle, they say, "I love this. Bring it on." Your words shape your experience. The next time you feel discomfort, welcome it instead of resisting it. Instead of saying, "This sucks," Say, "This is where I grow." Instead of thinking, "I wish this was easier," think, "I wish I was tougher." When you reframe struggle as opportunity, you stop seeing pain as an obstacle. You start seeing it as fuel. 2. Associate pain with progress. Your brain is always looking for patterns. It links pain to whatever outcome follows. If pain leads to quitting, your brain learns that pain is bad. If pain leads to breakthroughs, your brain learns that pain is good. The goal is to make your brain see pain as a reward. Here's how to do it. After every tough workout, tell yourself, "This was a win. I just got stronger." After every brutal work session, remind yourself, "This is the price of success. I just moved forward." After every moment of struggle, celebrate, because struggle means you're making progress. The moment you start linking pain to improvement, something incredible happens. You stop avoiding discomfort, you chase it. 3. Turn hard work into a game. Most people see discipline as suffering. But the best? They gamify the process. They turn pain into a challenge to overcome, a test to pass, a battle to win. Here's how you can do the same. Track your streaks. How many days in a row can you push through discomfort? Set pain-based goals. How many extra reps can you do when your body wants to quit? Compete with yourself. Can you work harder today than you did yesterday? Instead of seeing pain as something to endure, turn it into a game that excites you. When you challenge yourself to go harder than before, pain becomes addictive. 4. Train yourself to love the burn. The fastest way to rewire your brain is through exposure therapy. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the more normal it becomes. Start small. Seek out controlled suffering daily. Take a cold shower every morning. Push yourself through an intense workout when you feel tired. Work for 1 extra hour when your brain tells you to stop. At first, you'll hate it. But over time, you'll start craving that burn, because your brain will recognize it as the signal for growth. The more you voluntarily choose discomfort, the stronger your mind becomes. The turning point, when pain becomes fuel. At some point, a shift happens. You stop avoiding the grind. You need it. You stop wishing things were easy. You want them to be hard. You stop seeing pain as suffering. You see it as a gift. When this happens, you become dangerous. Because most people still avoid pain. They still hesitate. They still make excuses. But you don't just endure pain, you seek it out. This gives you an unfair advantage. While others are quitting, you're pushing. While others are avoiding work, you're thriving in it. You have become the kind of person who loves the challenge, and that makes you unstoppable. Why most people never reach this level? The reason most people fail isn't because they lack talent, intelligence, or luck. They fail because they never rewire their mindset. They still believe pain is something to avoid. Hard work is suffering. Discomfort is bad. Because of this, they spend their whole lives resisting the very thing that would set them free. They want to be disciplined, but they won't embrace struggle. They want to succeed, but they won't endure discomfort. They want to be great, but they refuse to love the process. The best know better. They don't wait for comfort, they lean into the pain. The final rule: chase the struggle, love the process. Success is not about talent. It's about who can handle the most pain without breaking. It's about who can push harder, last longer, and endure more discomfort than anyone else. If you can train yourself to love the struggle, you will become unstoppable. When your body wants to stop, go one more. When your mind screams for rest, push forward. When life gets hard, smile, because this is where you grow. From now on, hard work is not a punishment, it's your greatest weapon. Most people will quit. Most people will avoid the pain. Most people will never understand this. But you will embrace the grind. You will love the burn. You will master the struggle. And because of that, you will win. Chapter 7. The One More Strategy. Train your mind for relentless effort. Most people stop at the point where things start getting uncomfortable. They do what is required, but never more. They complete their tasks, but never push beyond them. They follow the routine, but never test their true limits. And that's why they stay average. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is a simple but powerful mindset shift. Instead of stopping when things get hard, the best always do one more. One more rep. One more call. One more page. One more hour. This is the one more strategy, and it's the secret to building an unstoppable work ethic. Once you train yourself to always go beyond what is expected, you unlock a level of effort most people never reach. This chapter will show you exactly how to implement this mindset, so you can separate yourself from the competition and dominate in everything you do. The power of one more. Success is not about doing one big thing right. It's about the tiny extra efforts you make every day. The athlete who runs one more sprint becomes the fastest on the field. The entrepreneur who makes one more call lands the biggest deal of their career. The student who studies one more hour outperforms their peers. The people who rise to the top are not the most talented. They're the ones who push past their limits when everyone else stops. It's easy to do what's expected. It's easy to stop when you're tired. But when you push for one more, you force yourself to grow beyond your current level. And over time, these small extra efforts compound into massive results. Why most people stop too soon. The human brain is designed to conserve energy. It always looks for the easiest way out. When a workout gets hard, your mind tells you to stop. When a task feels overwhelming, your brain tries to distract you. When you start feeling tired, your body looks for an excuse to rest. This is why most people quit long before they reach their true limits. They assume exhaustion means they have nothing left to give. But in reality, the real breakthroughs happen right after that point. When you think you're at your limit, you're only at 40% of your actual capacity. When you feel like stopping, your body still has more in the tank. When your mind tells you to quit, you can still push for one more. The key is to train yourself to override these signals and push beyond the false limits your mind creates. This is where the one more strategy comes in. How to implement the one more strategy in your life. The goal is simple. Every time you're about to stop, push for one more. This applies to every area of life. In the gym, when you're about to stop, do one more rep. At work, when you're ready to finish, make one more call. In learning, when your brain is tired, read one more page. In self-discipline, when you're tempted to quit, push for one more hour. These tiny moments of extra effort separate the best from the rest. Here's how to build this habit into your daily routine. 1. Always challenge your first instinct to stop. When you feel like you've done enough, challenge that thought. Instead of stopping when the workout gets tough, ask, what if I do one more set? Instead of leaving the office at 5 p.m., ask, what if I work for one more hour? Instead of quitting after 30 minutes of reading, ask, what if I read one more chapter? Make this a rule. The moment you want to stop is the exact moment you must push further. 2. Make one more a reflex. This needs to become automatic. If you're about to put the weights down, do one more rep. If you're about to close your laptop, write one more paragraph. If you're about to leave the track, run one more lap. At first, it will feel forced. But over time, your brain will reprogram itself to expect more. Eventually, you won't even think about it. Pushing beyond your limits will become second nature. 3. Use it to break through mental barriers. The hardest part of any challenge is the mental resistance. Most people give up too soon because their brain tells them, this is enough. You don't need to do more. You can stop now. But when you adopt the one more strategy, you prove to yourself that those thoughts are lies. You realize you can always go further. You develop the ability to break through plateaus. You build the habit of pushing harder than anyone else. Once you understand that your limits are self-imposed, you start to see how much more you're capable of. Why this strategy works so well. This mindset is so powerful because it forces you to exceed expectations every single day. Most people do what is required. But when you make one more a habit, you constantly surpass the standard. Separate yourself from the competition. Stack small wins that compound into massive success. And over time, the difference between you and everyone else becomes undeniable. This is how champions are made, not by doing what's expected, but by always doing more. Examples of the one more strategy in action. Some of the greatest achievers in history have used this exact mindset. Michael Jordan would stay after practice and take one more shot again and again until he was the best in the world. David Goggins trains his mind by constantly pushing for one more rep, one more mile, one more challenge. Elon Musk works extreme hours, always pushing himself to do more than what's necessary to succeed. The difference between good and great is this. Greatness lives in that one more effort that most people aren't willing to make. How to make this a permanent part of your life. If you truly want to train your mind for relentless effort, you must make the one more strategy a daily rule. Here's how. Write it down. Keep a reminder somewhere visible. Always do one more. Track it. Every day, ask yourself, where did I push beyond my limit today? Make it a mindset. Commit to the belief that you never stop at good enough. The final rule. Make one more your new standard. From now on, every time you think about stopping, go one more. When you think you've done enough, prove yourself wrong. When you feel like quitting, push past that moment. When your brain tells you to stop, train it to go further. Most people never push past their limits. But you are not most people. You are the kind of person who always does more than expected. And because of that, success will not be a question of if, it will be inevitable. Chapter 8. The Unbreakable Standard Rule. Raise your expectations of yourself. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they accept low standards for themselves. They settle for good enough, instead of striving for excellence. They allow themselves to be inconsistent, lazy, and undisciplined. They do the bare minimum and expect extraordinary results. And that's why they stay stuck. The difference between the elite and the average comes down to a simple rule. Successful people set unbreakable standards for themselves and refuse to lower them. They don't let feelings, distractions, or circumstances dictate their effort. They have rules, not preferences. They operate at a level where anything less than their best is unacceptable. This chapter will teach you how to develop an unshakable personal standard, one so high that it forces you to operate at your full potential every single day. Why most people have weak standards. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they allow themselves to live below their potential. They let themselves slack off, just this once. They break promises to themselves without consequences. They lower their effort when things get uncomfortable. Over time, this weakens their discipline and destroys their ability to follow through. They become the kind of person who quits when things get hard, procrastinates when no one is watching, and never pushes past their limits. This isn't because they don't want success, it's because they've built the habit of tolerating mediocrity. If you want to force yourself to work hard, you must raise your standards, so high that anything less is completely unacceptable. What it means to have an unbreakable standard. Having an unbreakable standard means you hold yourself to a level of discipline higher than anyone expects. Refuse to negotiate with laziness, procrastination, or excuses. Make high effort your default setting, not something you do occasionally. Think about the world's most disciplined people. The elite athlete doesn't skip a workout because they don't feel like it. The Navy SEAL doesn't break training discipline because they're too tired. The top entrepreneur doesn't delay action because they're not in the mood. These people don't operate on motivation. They operate on an unshakable personal code. They wake up every day and execute, no matter what. This is the standard you must adopt. How to raise your standards and keep them unbreakable. If you want to dominate in life, you must eliminate all tolerance for weakness, not just in big moments, but in the tiny daily decisions that shape your identity. Here's how. 1. Define the kind of person you want to be. Every action you take is a reflection of your personal identity. If you see yourself as someone who tries their best when they feel motivated, you'll be inconsistent. If you see yourself as someone who never skips workouts, no matter what, you'll never miss. The first step to raising your standards is deciding who you are. Ask yourself, What kind of person do I want to be? What are the rules I refuse to break? What standards do I hold myself to, even when no one is watching? Once you define this, you stop giving yourself the option to quit. You stop wondering, should I do this? And start thinking, this is just who I am. 2. Set hard rules for yourself. Most people fail because they leave room for negotiation. They say, I'll try to wake up early, instead of, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, no exceptions. They say, I'll try to be more disciplined, instead of, I follow my routine perfectly, no matter what. They say, I'll do my best, instead of, I execute at the highest level every single time. Your new rule: no more flexibility. No more half commitments. No more maybe. Here's how to do it. Instead of, I'll try to work out, say, I train 5 days a week, no matter what. Instead of, I'll try to focus more, say, I do deep work for 3 hours daily, no distractions. Instead of, I'll try to be consistent, say, I never break my commitments, ever. These aren't goals. These are rules you live by. 3. Eliminate any option to quit. Most people lower their standards because they leave themselves a way out. They keep junk food in the house, making it easy to break their diet. They keep their phone nearby, making it easy to procrastinate. They don't track their progress, making it easy to slack off. If you want to enforce high standards, you need to make quitting impossible. Here's how. Remove temptations that allow you to fail. Publicly commit to your goals so quitting becomes embarrassing. Attach consequences to failure, so breaking your rules actually hurts. The harder it is to fail, the easier it is to stay disciplined. 4. Stop rewarding yourself for weakness. Most people reinforce bad habits by rewarding themselves for failure. They break their workout streak and say, it's okay, I needed a break. They procrastinate and say, it's fine, I'll do better next time. They eat junk food and say, I deserve this. This mindset is poison. From now on, when you skip a workout, you don't make up for it. You never miss in the first place. When you procrastinate, you don't forgive yourself. You attack the next day twice as hard. When you make an excuse, you don't justify it. You destroy it. The only way to build an unbreakable standard is to stop accepting failure as an option. 5. Surround yourself with people who expect more from you. Your environment dictates your behavior. If you're around lazy people, you will become lazy. If you're around disciplined people, you will become disciplined. If you're around high achievers, you will be forced to level up. The best way to raise your standards is to put yourself in an environment where excellence is the norm. Train with people who push themselves harder than you do. Work with people who demand high performance. Surround yourself with winners, so quitting becomes unacceptable. You will rise or fall to the level of those around you. Choose wisely. The final rule: set a standard so high that quitting becomes unthinkable. From this moment forward, you do not lower your standards. You don't take it easy because you're tired. You don't give yourself a break because you feel unmotivated. You don't skip today and start fresh tomorrow. You execute every single day, no matter what. The standard you set for yourself determines your future. If you set it high, you will rise. If you allow yourself to slack, you will stay stuck. You now have a choice. Live with average standards and get average results. Or set a standard so unbreakable that success becomes inevitable. Your future depends on the standard you choose today. Chapter 9. The No Choice Mentality. Remove the option to fail. Most people struggle with discipline because they see hard work as a choice. They approach success as something they'll pursue if they feel like it, if they're in the mood, if life isn't too stressful, if the timing is right. But here's the truth. As long as success is an option, failure will always be an easier alternative. The people who achieve greatness don't operate this way. They don't give themselves a choice about whether to work hard or not. They follow a simple rule. Success is mandatory. Quitting is not an option. They don't hesitate. They don't debate. They don't negotiate with laziness. They have no choice but to execute, every single day. This is the no-choice mentality, and once you adopt it, you will eliminate procrastination, excuses, and inconsistency forever. Why having a choice is your biggest weakness. Most people fail because they give themselves an escape route. They say they'll try to be disciplined, but deep down, they know they can quit if it gets too hard. They say they want to succeed, but they allow themselves to wait for the perfect moment. They say they'll work hard, but only if they feel motivated. This is why they remain stuck, because they keep giving themselves a way out. If failure is an option, your brain will always consider it. When things get tough, your mind will look for excuses. I'll start tomorrow. I need a break. It's not the right time. This is why most people never reach their full potential, because they treat success like a preference, not a requirement. But when you eliminate the choice to fail, everything changes. You stop thinking about if you will do something, and you just do it. The power of the no-choice mentality. Think about the times in life when you were the most productive, the most focused, the most determined. It was probably when you had no other option but to succeed. When you had a strict deadline, you worked faster and got things done. When you had a job that had to be completed, you found a way, no matter what. When you were put in a situation where failure was not an option, you rose to the occasion. This proves a simple truth. When there is no way out, you will always find a way forward. The problem is, most people don't put themselves in situations where success is the only possible outcome. They keep their escape routes open. If you truly want to become unstoppable, you must burn the bridges behind you, so the only way left is forward. How to remove the option to fail. If you want to operate at a high level every single day, you need to make success non-negotiable. Here's how. 1. Eliminate backup plans that make quitting easy. Most people fail because they secretly have a backup plan. If their business idea doesn't work, they tell themselves they can always get another job. If their fitness goals get too hard, they allow themselves to start next year. If their dream requires too much sacrifice, they convince themselves that maybe it wasn't meant to be. This mindset keeps you weak. Instead of making success an option, make it your only path forward. If you're building a business, go all in, so quitting is not an option. If you want to get in shape, throw out all junk food, so breaking your diet is impossible. If you want to develop discipline, remove all distractions, so wasting time is no longer an option. Once quitting is off the table, your brain will stop looking for an exit. 2. Commit to something bigger than yourself. The most disciplined people in the world don't rely on motivation. They stay consistent because they have no choice but to succeed. They have a reason so powerful that failure is simply not an option. A parent working 3 jobs to feed their family doesn't ask, "Do I feel like going to work today?" They go because they have no choice. A soldier in combat doesn't ask, "Am I motivated to fight today?" They execute because survival depends on it. An elite athlete doesn't train only when they feel good. They train every day because they are chasing something bigger than themselves. If you struggle with discipline, it's not because you lack motivation. It's because you don't have a reason powerful enough to make quitting unthinkable. Find something that makes success a responsibility, not a preference. If you want to succeed, tie your goals to something greater than yourself. Make it so that quitting would mean betraying the people who believe in you. Give yourself a mission so important that failure is simply not an option. When you have something meaningful driving you, you stop looking for reasons to quit. You find ways to push forward, no matter what. 3. Stop waiting for motivation. Operate on discipline alone. Weak people wait to feel ready before taking action. Winners take action regardless of how they feel. They don't care if they're tired. They show up. They don't care if they're unmotivated. They execute. They don't care if conditions aren't perfect. They work. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They move first. Your new rule: I do what needs to be done, no matter what. 4. Put yourself in situations where you cannot back out. The best way to make success inevitable is to create external pressure that forces you to follow through. Announce your goals publicly, so quitting would be embarrassing. Invest money into your success, So failing means losing something valuable. Make commitments that force you to show up, so you have no choice but to execute. When you lock yourself into a path with no exit, your brain will stop looking for ways to escape and start focusing on how to succeed. 5. Treat your goals like survival. If your life depended on getting something done, would you still make excuses? Would you still say, "I'll do it later"? Would you still procrastinate? Would you still wait for motivation?
No.
You would move with urgency. You would attack your goals with everything you have. Start treating your goals like they are a life or death mission. Because in reality, they are. Your future self depends on what you do today. Your potential success is being built or destroyed by your actions right now. The life you want is either getting closer or further away with every decision you make. You are either executing at a high level or you are falling behind. There is no in-between. The final rule: success is the only option. From this moment forward, you must remove the choice to fail. You don't try to be disciplined. You are disciplined. You don't hope to be successful. You make success inevitable. You don't attempt to work hard. You work relentlessly every day. This is the no-choice mentality. And once you adopt it, success is no longer a question of if, it's only a matter of time. Chapter 10. The Extreme Ownership Law. Take full control of your results. The moment you blame anything outside yourself for your failures, your circumstances, your past, other people, bad luck, you give away your power. Most people fail because they believe their situation is beyond their control. They blame their environment, their upbringing, their lack of resources. But the truth is, no one can change your life but you. The people who achieve massive success take full ownership of everything in their life. They refuse to make excuses, wait for help, or let anything outside their control determine their future. The moment you embrace extreme ownership, you regain total control over your life and future. And when you take control, you can change anything. This chapter will show you how to own your results, no matter what, and how this simple mindset shift will make you unstoppable. The trap of blame. The most common excuse people make for their failures is blame. I didn't have the right resources. My family didn't support me. I wasn't born in the right circumstances. I wasn't lucky enough. These are lies that keep you stuck. The moment you start blaming anyone or anything for your lack of progress, you hand away your power. If you are not responsible for your failure, then you cannot change it. But if you are responsible, you can fix it. You can adjust your approach, improve your strategy, and develop new skills. Taking responsibility for your results is the only way to reclaim your power. The power of extreme ownership. Extreme ownership is about taking full responsibility for every part of your life, whether it's good or bad, easy or hard, successful or unsuccessful. When you succeed, you own it. When you fail, you own it. When things are going well, you own it. When things are falling apart, you own it. Here's the power of this mindset. You stop making excuses. You stop blaming others. You stop waiting for external circumstances to change. You take full responsibility for your decisions, your actions, and the results they produce. And by doing that, you regain the ability to create your future. The moment you take full ownership of your life, you stop feeling like a victim and become a powerful creator of your own destiny. Why most people avoid ownership. Most people avoid taking full responsibility because it's easier to blame others. It's easier to say, I didn't succeed because of my upbringing. It's easier to say, I didn't get the opportunity because of my race or gender. It's easier to say, I failed because the economy was bad. But this mindset keeps you trapped. It prevents you from recognizing that you have the power to change. The moment you give away your power, you are no longer in control. If you say, I can't succeed because of my circumstances, you'll never do what it takes to change your circumstances. On the other hand, when you take full ownership, you take control. And when you take control, you have the power to make different choices, take different actions, and create a different future. How to apply extreme ownership to your life. Extreme ownership is a mindset, a way of thinking that can be applied to every area of your life. Here's how to adopt it. 1. Eliminate excuses. The first step is to stop making excuses for why you're not where you want to be. No more blaming circumstances. Instead of saying, "I don't have enough time," ask yourself, "How can I make more time?" No more blaming other people. Instead of saying, "My boss doesn't appreciate me," ask yourself, "What can I do to improve my value?" No more blaming your past. Instead of saying, "I wasn't born with the same advantages," ask yourself, "What can I do today to move forward?" Extreme ownership means you accept full responsibility for where you are and where you're going, and that means no more excuses. 2. Take responsibility for your decisions. Your life is a result of the decisions you make, every single one of them. If you're unhappy with your health, you are responsible for your diet and exercise habits. If you're struggling financially, you are responsible for how you manage money and make income. If you're stuck in your career, you are responsible for how much you push yourself to learn and grow. Extreme ownership means owning your decisions, both the good ones and the bad ones. Every decision you make creates a consequence, and you must be ready to take full responsibility for it. When you make a mistake, don't make excuses. Own it, learn from it, and adjust. When you succeed, don't get complacent. Own it, and aim to go higher. 3. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Most people wait for the perfect moment to take action. I'll start working out after this week. I'll begin my business after I get more savings. I'll focus on my goals once I get more experience. But here's the truth. The perfect time never comes. Waiting for external circumstances to change or improve is a trap. The moment you realize that the perfect time is now, you stop waiting and start acting. If you wait for everything to align perfectly, you'll never move forward. Instead, take ownership of your situation right now. Act with what you have, where you are, and start improving today. 4. Take full responsibility for your results. When you take ownership, you also take ownership of your results, both the good and the bad. If you succeed, you are responsible for the actions that got you there. If you fail, you are responsible for the decisions that led to it. Extreme ownership is about recognizing that everything you do leads to a result, whether positive or negative. And because of that, you have the power to change those results by changing your actions. The key is to never blame anyone or anything else for your results. You are the one who created them, and only you have the ability to change them. Why extreme ownership leads to success. When you take full responsibility for everything in your life, you gain the power to change. If your business is failing, you can analyze what decisions led to this and make new choices. If your relationships are struggling, you can recognize how your behavior contributed and take corrective action. If you're not progressing, you can look at your habits, routines, and mindset and change them. When you stop blaming others, you start taking full control of your destiny. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and become the architect of your future. This mindset allows you to make empowered choices that lead to powerful actions. And when you consistently take empowered actions, success becomes inevitable. The key to lifelong success. Own every part of your journey. Success is about more than just achieving your goals. It's about consistently showing up and owning the process of becoming the person who can achieve those goals. Own the hard work that gets you there. Own the failures and the lessons that come with them. Own the progress and the wins that make it all worth it. Lifelong success isn't a destination, it's a mindset. It's about adopting extreme ownership in everything you do, and seeing every failure as an opportunity to improve. When you operate from a place of extreme ownership, nothing can stop you. You will always find a way, always push forward, and always control your fate. The final rule. Own your life, own your success. From now on, stop looking for reasons why you can't succeed. Instead, look for reasons why you can. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Take responsibility for the time you have now. Stop blaming your circumstances. Take control of your environment today. Stop thinking that success is out of your reach. Take ownership of your journey, and make success inevitable. Because when you take extreme ownership, you take full control of your destiny, and there's nothing more powerful than that.